What's up, guys? We are excited to be in front of you guys today to talk about how to source $1,000 flips without leaving your house, and even more importantly, consistently.
We are Rob and Melissa Stephenson, co-founders of Flea Market Flipper and the parents to these three crazy kids who love to do this flipping gig with us as well. Rob has been selling on eBay since 1996. I married into it 18 years ago. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I love it. We've had a lot of fun doing it together, and it was always our fun money. It was our extra money that we needed for vacations or any time we wanted to, needed money for anything. We could go and we could sell more. Then in 2016, we had a decision to make. I was pregnant with baby number 3, and we decided I would step back from my personal training job because it was about to be chaos with 3 kids, 3 and under. So, yeah, it was about to be pure chaos, and then we got a phone call.
I got a curveball from the company that I was working for. They told me that we were gonna lose our health insurance within a month, which was right about the same time that our 3rd child, Brody, was gonna be born. And that threw us into a panic, and I had to figure out what to do, either go get another job or go into flipping full time. We've never really tracked our numbers up until this point because we were doing it on the side. So we decided to look back at our numbers, and we were surprised that to find out that we were making $42,000 the last year doing part-time flipping. So that's when I was like, all right, well, what if we throw full-time hours at this? Can I really make this work to replace our income? In the first year, we ended up making, once we went full-time into flipping, the first year we ended up making $133,000. And then that's when we knew we could really, really focus on flipping.
So we went all in. And then we also, around the same time, we transitioned into high profit, high value items because it made the most sense for our family. We were able to spend less time in the business and more time with our family because our kids were very little. So, okay.
And then this was the flip that changed it all for us. Up until this time, any larger items that I bought to flip, I would actually list them on Facebook Marketplace, and then I would try and sell them on Facebook Marketplace. I bought this table and chair set for $350 from a local auction, and no difference this time around. I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I listed it for $750, hoping that I could get $700 for it. The problem was we listed it, and for 2 months, I got nothing. Crickets. Nobody reached out. So I didn't know what I was going to do with this table and chair set. There's a buffet in it as well. I didn't know what I was going to do. So then I started doing some research on eBay. Just like everybody in here, you try to find something comparable on eBay, find out what it's worth. And I noticed something. There were table and chair sets that were selling on eBay, but the only ones that were selling were the table and chair sets that the sellers were offering shipping on them. So I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, if I list this thing on eBay, I have to figure out how to ship it. So we did it. We listed it on eBay, and we sold it in 30 days for $2,200 instead of $700 or $750. And that's when I knew, okay, there's something to finding a little bit larger items in the local market and then bringing them to the nationwide or the global market.
So how is it possible that we're not able to sell it for $750 to somebody in 2 months' time, but then we were able to sell it for $2,200 in less than 30 days? And the reason being is because we were limited to our local market on Facebook Marketplace. So it's such a smaller pool of people that you can reach. And on eBay, there's 134 million active buyers. Now they're not all searching for your item, but that is a lot more eyeballs that you can get on your items. And then it works because we are shipping the item directly to the customer. Sorry. And a lot of times we get the comment, okay, well, $1,000 flip, $2,000 flip, that's a unicorn flip. But we do these consistently. So this is a 90-day total, $55,000, and only 26 items. So that's over $2,000 average per item. And we ended that year at $2,007 per item. I can see.
So these are some of our $1,000 plus flips that we've done. They all have one thing in common. We found them in the local market, and then we actually put them on eBay, and we sold them on eBay. And like Melissa said, the reason it works, when you look on Facebook Marketplace, when you look on some of the apps, or even at the local resale shops, you'll find a price that most people start their item that they're trying to sell at, and then you'll see them slash through it and go lower. So they'll start at $3,000 for an expensive item. That's what we're looking for, is high retail items that have high retail value. They'll start it at like $3,000, which the items typically are worth what they're asking for it, but they can't sell it because there's not enough people looking at that specific item or needing that specific item in the local market. So they'll start at $3,000, they'll slash it to $1,500, then they'll slash it down to $1,000, and then they'll slash it down to $750, just trying to move it. By the time we see it, it's next to nothing. We get it really, really cheap. We're able to bring it to the market where there are buyers who are looking for this specific item, and then we ship it to them.
All All right, we're gonna dive into some places to source some of these high value items. And these are probably places that you've visited before, but maybe now you'll start looking for some different items. So one of our favorite places to go is thrift stores.
We love thrift stores. Thrift stores, we do it in our local area. We do it when we travel the country. We love visiting thrift stores. A lot of them, Habitat for Humanity, Salvation Army, Goodwill, these are some of our favorites, but we also love the mom and pop thrift stores as well. And similar to like what I just talked about, when you go into a thrift store and they have an item that might be a cooktop, a range, or something that's a little bit larger, they're still limited to how many people visit that thrift store. So then if they can't sell it, they have to keep marking it down, and marking it down. So those are the items we're looking for. We buy them at a huge discount and then we throw them onto eBay. So thrift stores are an amazing place to be able to get really great items to resell.
The next place is yard sales. And this was a huge one in how Rob even got into reselling.
So this one hits a little bit closer to home. I come from a big family. I have 6 older sisters. I'm the youngest and only boy in my family. My parents would go to yard sales religiously every Friday and Saturday. And they did it for 2 reasons. One of the reasons was to provide for a big family. We didn't always get brand new stuff because we were a big family. So they did it to provide for us, but the other reason was they had a side hustle. They would go to yard sales, they would look for items that were undervalued at yard sales, and then they would buy them, bring them back, and sell them in the classified section. If you guys don't know, we're out of Florida, out of Orlando. My parents would list it in the Orlando classified section, and that's how they would sell it. This is pre-internet, pre-eBay, Facebook, all that stuff. This is how you sold used items. And a lot of people in this room probably, can relate to the classified section. This is how you sold used items, but it's the similar. When you go to a yard sale, anybody visiting that yard sale throughout a weekend, you might get anywhere from 50 to a couple hundred people there's not gonna be that many people looking for a specific item in a small pool like that. And then my parents would bring it to the classified section where they'd get tens of thousands of people looking for items and more people in that pool looking for that specific item. And so I got modeled that at a young age, and that's what we do nowadays when we're shopping on marketplace or thrift stores or yard sales. We're taking them from the local market and then bringing them to the nationwide or global market.
All right, and then another one of our favorites is flea markets. When we went full time, this is actually where we focused on sourcing, and you went there religiously for every week. Every weekend you were there.
Saturday and Sunday, I went to the flea market and started looking for great deals. When we started, this is when we went full time into flipping. One thing that I did do, and I don't know if any of you guys are taking advantage of this, think about contacts you can make. That's what changed our business just hugely because of, I started going to the flea market consistently every weekend. I started seeing the vendors that had the items that I wanted or that I really could get at a lower price and then bring them back and sell them on eBay. I started making contacts. I started getting phone numbers, and then I started getting a text throughout the week of items that they found at a local auction or a thrift store. And I didn't have to wait till the weekends to get these deals. They were reaching out through the week, and I was able to do that. So think about in your local areas where you can create some contacts, whether it's a flea market, a thrift store, some of the places that you visit normally, and try to make some of those contacts that you can just get better deals and quicker deals on the items that you're looking to buy.
Another great place that we don't do very much, but it can be great for finding high-value smalls, is estate sales.
So one of our members, it's a husband and wife team, they're amazing at going to estate sales. They're more in a rural area, but he has really honed his eyes in on collectibles. He finds small collectibles that he spends anywhere from $1 to $10, and then he sells them on eBay from hundreds of dollars and sometimes thousands of dollars for these collectibles. I'm not the greatest at collectibles, but there's so much money to be made at estate sales looking for collectibles and other items like that.
We do auctions. We love auctions. We do both in-person and online auctions.
So nowadays, auctions are kind of hybrid. They have it to where you go to an auction house. A lot of times you won't sit there and bid at the auction house, but they'll publicize the items that they have. You can go and view the items, and then you bid online for those items. We have a couple of these in Orlando. I love these that you're able to do, but you're still, they're limited to the local market of the people who can come and pick up that item after they buy it. So definitely take a look if you have not checked in your local areas for some auctions, because you can find amazing deals at the local auctions.
And this is where we're going to dive in deeper today. Our absolute favorite place to source high-value items is the online apps, and more specifically at Facebook Marketplace. It's our favorite app to find items on because on there the items are undervalued, like Rob mentioned, and people are ready to get rid of them. They're either cleaning out their garage, they've updated their kitchen, they want this stuff gone. And we get a lot of stuff for free. People just want it gone. And they don't want to worry about shipping. So that's why we can get it for such a great deal.
So we were just down in the Keys last week with our kids on a family vacation. I knew that I was coming here, so I put together a real quick video of me sourcing. One of the things that I love to do whenever I travel is try to help pay for the trip or pay for the entire trip by finding something in that area. So I was in the Keys. I did a real quick sourcing on Facebook. You guys can watch this. We'll talk about it in just a second. And then, yeah, let's do that.
What's up, guys? So I am going to do a little sourcing, show you guys how we find high profit items. We are currently on a vacation. I love to try and source while we're on vacation to hopefully pay for some of the vacation or all of the vacation if I can find a high profit flip. We are down in the Florida Keys doing some lobstering with the family. So I'm going to look in the lower southern Florida area and see if I can find something, whether it's in my local where I'm at in the Keys or on the way back up on the drive up so I can pick something up. So I'm in my right area right now on Facebook Marketplace. My favorite way to source and my favorite place to source is Facebook Marketplace. How I do it is jump in and just start looking at pictures of items that they throw my way, and I'm looking at pictures and prices of these items. So I'm trying to find something expensive that looks expensive and that is a good name brand or something that is really, really good. So my go-to really is, like they already popped it in here because I do a lot of appliances, is major appliances. So I'm going to either jump into the major appliances and go into that category and look and see if I can find something that pops up really quickly that I like. If not, I'm actually going to take advantage of the actual sourcing when you actually type something in for either a brand name or a type of appliance. And I'm not seeing anything off bat. So if I don't, I'll jump up actually into here and let's do double oven. See if anything pops up that catches my eye for a double oven. This one right here. I know this is a great brand. It looks like they had it marked at $3,000 down to $500. There's some normal brands that are not quite as expensive. I know Wolf is very, very expensive. Let's jump in and look. So it looks like they listed it over a year ago, $3,900. $500 is what they're willing to take from our winter home. Just want it out of the garage. Beautiful. This is exactly what I want to source, something like this. Let's jump over to eBay and do double oven, see what pops up. Okay, 73 in here. Let's take this down a notch. This is actually active listings. So we want to go into completed and see what this item will bring. So let's jump over here to completed. And then I always like to go by highest. You can see there's 20 listings that have sold. Another way we can do it is also go to used. Since this is a used item, let's break it down. Only 10 items that are used. And this is not the same one. This is not the same one. None of these are the same one, but very expensive, which is good. This is the same one. So right here on this one, you can see it was pre-owned and $4,499. Love it. That is awesome. Great deal on this, pre-owned, and they are willing to ship it. So let's see if there's any other ones in here. Single oven, not a double, can't go with that. So that's the only one that has sold. So let's jump and see what active listings are so we know what we can do here. These are the wrong ones. All these are the wrong ones. Still showing me from highest to lowest. So this is the right one. It's a double oven, but something that you'll see here is they are not willing to offer shipping on this. So that is not a good comp. We can definitely get more money for this. That's why the other one sold for more money at $4,200. And this one $1,000 without any shipping as well. This single oven. This is another one, freight shipping, so you'll have to reach out to get a freight price on it, which typically will cost it when people won't give you a price on it, another $1,000 to $2,000 on it on this. But this would be a comparable comp, but that is the only one listed right now that somebody would be competing with me if I bought this and listed this. Yeah, so none of these other ones are the same. So that is the only one, but we can see the market is bearing what one has sold for, $4,200. And that is awesome. That's exactly great news. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to actually jump over here and make an offer on this because I know I can make some good money. Let's do $350. See if they'll take $350. And then send the offer. And that's it. That's as easy as it is to send an offer to be able to get one of these items. Now, my goal is 10xing what we are buying. We're sourcing items. So if I can get $3,500 for this, I'm doing awesome. I think I can get roughly $3,500, $4,500, somewhere in that range for it. Do amazing pictures, a video with it, and I know it will sell for some good money. So that is it. I'm super excited about this one. We'll keep you posted and find out if they take this one. All right, guys, hopefully this was helpful.
All right, so that was what we actually sourced down in the keys. And you can see, what I really look for is I'm looking for items that don't have a lot of competition. We did not get this oven. The gentleman that I reached out to, he never saw my message. One another tip, if you do reach out to people on Marketplace, if you can see, if they see your message, if they don't respond back, maybe they were insulted by your offer. This one, $350 from $500, that's not insulting. That's a good offer on top of it. But if they don't respond back and they don't see your message, reach out at a different time of day. That's what I have to do a lot of times because some people don't have notifications set up on their phone, or they get a notification and they're working or they're doing something else, so they don't have time to answer it. So I always try to reach out at another time of day. I reached out to this gentleman twice and he never saw the messages and never responded back. So I don't know exactly, we're not in the keys anymore, so I can't buy it, but we were able to get two other items. I got a boat tower that we put in the back of the boat. We brought it back. I paid $400 for it. We'll probably be able to get $5,000 for that. And then we bought another thing from a thrift store down there as well. So I guess that's it. Okay. Sorry.
So another comment that we get often is we're able to find some of these items because we're in the Orlando area, and that's where all the good items are, apparently. Well, in 2020, we ended up taking our first cross-country road trip. Our brother-in-law passed away from brain cancer, so we loaded up two of his sisters, our 4 nieces, our 3 kids. He bought a 15-passenger van from Marketplace, and we loaded up a trailer because we had some stuff with us for 11 people, and we wanted to get everybody's minds off of everything, so we wanted to go see the national parks. And about halfway through the trip, Rob realized we have a half-empty trailer. So
we can't go anywhere with a half-empty trailer, so we started looking for items on the road, and that kind of birthed our road trip of going around the country and looking for used items in all different types of areas, big towns, rural areas, and it was a lot of fun.
So just for an example of some of the numbers, next slide. So we've done this now for several years because after the first year, we were like, this is really cool. We can go see these awesome places, pick up inventory along the way. It's a business trip, and yeah, it's really cool. So in 2020, we purchased 7 items. Most of these items are purchased on Marketplace. There's a couple times we stopped at thrift stores and we picked up some, but they were purchased for $1,200, sold for $22,000, came back and sold them on eBay. In 2021, we purchased 14 items for $870, came back, sold them for $17,000. 2022, 17 items purchased for $1,400, came back, sold them for $25,000. And in 2023, 8 items purchased for $1,100, came back and sold them for $21,000. So pretty much around the same amount, which was really cool.
Now, like I said, one of the things I like to do is try to pay for a trip or the majority of a trip or something on the trip when we do travel. This is me sitting at a hotel room. We spoke in Phoenix, Arizona, I think this was 2 years ago, at a conference. And I wanted to try and pay for the hotel room that we were staying in at the conference. And I found these 2 items in the local area. One's a Nordic Track ski machine. Don't ask me why. This is one of the first items that I sold years and years ago in the 90s, was a Nordic Track ski machine. I found this in the local area. The gentleman was giving it away for free. We picked up that for free, and then we sold it on eBay. The second item that we got was this $30 downdraft hood. Somebody was redoing their kitchen. They didn't want to throw this away, and they didn't want to give it away, so they listed it on OfferUp for $30. We picked this up on OfferUp. Both of these, we ended up picking them up, bringing them back, and selling them. The Nordic Track we sold for $350, and then the hood we sold for $1,000. It almost paid for our whole stay at the hotel, but I think it was like $1,500 or $1,600. Yeah. But still, it helped with paying for the stay, which was awesome.
And we can't talk about our road trip finds without talking about our favorite road trip flip.
Who knows what this is? It is a car wash. It's more specifically, it's a bus wash because it's like 12 foot tall. So we actually bought this on our last stop of our first year of the road trip. I had sold one of these before. That's one cool thing that when you do this for a while, you have kind of an inventory in your head of what sells and what sells well. I bought and sold one of these before. I saw this on Marketplace. I was super excited when I saw it. The gentleman started out, I think it was at $3,000, marked it all the way down to like $750. And then I offered him $500 and he jumped on it. He said he got it for free from his company that he worked for. They were going to throw it away. So he made $500 off the bat. I paid $500 for it. We couldn't fit it in the little trailer. You guys saw the trailer in one of those other sides. It wouldn't fit inside that trailer, so we had to go back home, and I had to get an open trailer that we came back the next weekend, picked it up, but then we put it on eBay, and we sold it for $14,500. So that's the kind of things that are possible, and this, we did it on the road trip. We'd also picked up a couple more things in that area as well, but yeah.
All right. So don't be afraid of shipping large items. We hear it all the time that it's very intimidating to ship large items, but really once you do it once or twice, your confidence goes up and it is not as scary as the thought of doing it is. Yeah.
These are two of our recent items that I shipped out. One is a cooktop that we bought from a road trip in Colorado. We were in Colorado. I bought it at a Habitat for Humanity. I paid $25 for, and it's not very thick. It's a cooktop about that big. I mean, that thick, but then it's a little bit longer. We put it in a box. I paid $25 for it. We sold it for $1,750. And just when you're packaging larger items, make sure you're going by the guidelines of FedEx and UPS. And the biggest guideline they have is 2 to 3 inches of packaging around the item. I buy sheets of styrofoam from the local hardware stores, and then I cut them and we put them inside the box so they're totally encasing whatever item that we're shipping for a heavier item. So that cooktop, that's how I packaged that up in a box. It went FedEx or UPS. It cost me roughly $75, $100 to ship, and that's normal price for a bigger item to ship anywhere in the country. And then the item on the right, that is a pallet that I recently built. I bought this from a local auction like we were talking about a little while ago. I paid $88 for this. We sold it on eBay for $8,000. One thing that I will note on some of these items, the majority of the items that we're selling, we're giving a big discount from retail. This item on the pallet, it was a $52,000 item we bought from a local, $52,000 retail that we bought from a local auction. Nobody in the local area knew what it was. I still don't even really know what it is, but it's like a freeze blaster where you put a produce in it and it takes it from room temperature all the way down to below freezing. But nobody in the local area knew what it was. Nobody wanted it in the local area, and that's where we were able to get it really, really cheap, throw it on eBay, and I gave somebody, the buyer of this got a $40,000 discount on this item and that he purchased on eBay.
Did you say to FedEx and UPS standards as well, just to make sure the boxes are
yeah,
FedEx?
That's the biggest thing, is the standard of FedEx and UPS is 2 to 3 inches around the item that you're shipping. So.
All right, and we have our niches of the kind of, we'd like to do the appliances and equipment, but you can find high value items in almost any niche. So think about some of the things that you like, you can find those high value items. So we're gonna run through real quick. You log into your eBay app, search for the item that you're looking for. So on this one, we were looking at a skateboard. We bought a skateboard at a thrift store, a vintage one, and it was really cool. So we started looking up some skateboards. But if you filter to sold listings in whatever category you're looking at, filter highest price, because that is going to give you your top brands, your top models in that category that you can look for, and take a note. You can write them down, take a mental note of that of those models, so you're able to see them when you're out and about or sourcing on Marketplace as well. So some key takeaways: look for high value items in your local market that aren't selling because they can't reach the right buyers. Search for high-end brand models in your niche or a niche that you want to learn. And don't be afraid of shipping large boxes or freight items. It is not as scary as it might look like it is.